Hello everyone, it's Paul Driscoll here, aka the Drisk. Now today I thought I would briefly cover my favourite WWF wrestling game, and that is the arcade game WWF Wrestlefest, released in 1991 by Technos. Now for some bizarre reason this week, there I was minding my own business when out of the blue I had a sudden deep desire to watch American wrestling again. I've no idea why, but I personally think Paul Monahan has somehow been putting the voodoo jujus on me and implanted the thought. So anyway, after going searching for some true old school wrestling and having a grand old time watching the brilliant Royal Rumble 91, and with it being all the cheese and fun that I remember it to be, and so I then decided to go on a quest to find this arcade game that I so fondly loved back in the arcades back in the day, and give it a much needed play again. Now for me, when I say WWF wrestling, I mean the proper stuff. I mean the stuff from the mid-80s through to the mid-90s, with all your cool and classic wrestling stars. Your Hulk Hogans, your Ultimate Warriors, your $1 Million Mans, your Big Boss Mans. A time when over-the-top cheesiness and larger-than-life characters would come bounding off your screens and be memorable. Now I'll be honest, I haven't actually seen wrestling since about 93, so to be fair it may have been great since, but the few times I've seen modern wrestling games, to my old grumpy eyes, all the wrestle stars of today look to be the same. They all look like muscly blokes all wearing different coloured trunks. But back in the mid to late 80s, it was larger than life, and it was really quite an event. I've fond memories of it as well. A neighbour of mine's parents would always pay out for all the pay-per-view events like WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, and so all the kids would go pile driving our way to his house to watch the wrestling event. It was really special as well, with his parents putting on quite a show with enough sweets and pop to already hyper kids and just let us go crazy for the day. So we would all excitedly watch the events unfold on his TV, and then afterwards, to burn off the sugar overload, go outside in the freezing cold and try and recreate all the crazy moves that we saw, until of course someone got hurt, and then we would all scarper home and quickly disappear before we got in trouble. But back in the day though, there was only one WWF wrestling game that we really cared about, and it was gobbling all our 10-pence pieces, and that game was WrestleFest. Now yes, WWF Superstars had come out by Technos in 1989 before, and it was alright I suppose for the time, but until this game came out, nothing had captured the true spirit and feeling of WWF wrestling. It was the huge in-your-face sprites of this game, with lovingly hand-drawn depictions of all your favourite wrestling stars. A spirit and character sadly missing in my view from the blurry digitised sprites of the WrestleMania arcade game released by Midway in 95, and the subsequent 3D modelled WWF and WWE wrestlers that I've seen over the years. No, in this game, WrestleFest, you and up to 4 people could play 12 of the most popular wrestlers back in the day, and you could choose whether to do the 2 events. There was a Saturday night main event, which was a standard tag team affair where you had to pin your opponent for a count of 3. In this mode you had to battle your way through to the grand final. This was all of an awesome game with a tiny bit of tactics of trying to keep things in your corner and knowing when to tag to the other player, but mostly it was you running around and bashing all of the 2 buttons, both kick and punch, to make cool stuff happen. This game had it all, from the signature moves of your favourite wrestling stars through to going outside of the ring and whacking each other with chairs. The one bit I don't like about the game though is that at any point you can chuck more money in and replenish your health, so cash as opposed to skill, what little there is in the game, is really what's rewarded. But hey, I bet as the money came pouring in, the arcade owners loved it. The second mode in the game is even better in my opinion, and by far my favourite mode in both this game and the WWF special event of which it's based. and that is the Royal Rumble. Here is a fight where you again must either pin your opponent on the count of 3 or throw them out of the ring, with supposedly no other rules. The twist here is that every few minutes another new wrestler joins the madness of the other wrestlers that are still in play. So before long you have countless wrestlers all battling it out in pure Hulktastic mania. The game starts you off by entering the ring with already 6 players, and so right from the beginning total anarchy assumes, with you often having simply no clue what's going on. To be fair, that's pretty much like the actual Royal Rumble. As I mentioned, this mode was by far the favourite of me and my friends, and when we would go to the arcades in Weston-super-Mare, we would chuck all our money in to partake in the multiplayer madness. So in summary, it's a simple game and one that has minimal skill or depth, outside of just frantically bashing all the buttons. But it's a game that is fun, with a capital F-U-N, and the hand-drawn sprites of the WWF stars just haven't been bettered in capturing that over-the-top, fun WWF wrestling. So play this game, especially in multiplayer and armed with some beers and 4 like-minded friends, so you can be set for some hulking ultimate WWF fun. So until next time, see you later.